Hey guys, it's Max Convexity. Let's do a 5-minute options update. All right, the other day I was talking about Max's two-step. I'm going to spend a couple minutes recapping. Max's two-step is a trade that looks like this. Here's a paper trade we put on, or the profit loss graph looks like this. Here's a paper trade we put on in Broadcom the other day. Let me plug this darn thing in. What this is a straddle strangle swap. You're selling straddles, which is the 1400 put and call. You sold those to buy the strangle, which is the 1420 call and the 1380 put. Only catch is you're buying the strangle twice. So it's a ratio straddle strangle swap. That's what I would call this. Or a ratio, you could call it a ratio diagonal. It doesn't matter what you call it. It gives you it gives you exposure, positively convex exposure to volatility, and also to a rising market or a falling market, which is generally what happens in volatility. Anyway, so the theory of this trade is we put it on Friday. Broadcom has earnings on this coming Thursday after the bell. So we're going to leave this trade on until Thursday, right before the close, and then we're going to take this trade off. Right? If we had to take it off right now, we could take it off for a $1,600 profit. If the market moves more, if some stocks trend into earnings, we might even be able to take it off with more than that. Because the problem is, as soon as earnings are announced, the volatility is going to collapse, and lots of times these trades lose money. So that's why it's called Max's two-step. The first step is put on the long volatility trade first. So let me show you a handy little infographic I made that I can't freaking find. What in the hell? I just had the damn thing up. I don't know why everything has to be so freaking hard for me. I just freaking had it up. All right. So I made an infographic, Max's two-step, to try to show you the theory of this. The SSS is the straddle strangle swap. So we put it on the week before and take it right before earnings. And then we put on a different one for a stock that has earnings in the next week. Straddle strangle swaps make money in a rising rate environment. The theory is we try to put these on the week before a stock has earnings, and then the week of earnings, people on CNBC and retail traders start realizing, oh my gosh, Broadcom has earnings. What kind of trade am I going to put on? And so volatility stays bid during that week. That's the idea. So we're hoping that we can take the straddle strangle swap off for a small profit. And then right at the same time we take that off, then we put on a conventional earnings type trade. And I'm going to do a broken wing butterfly with calls. I'll show you guys that when it happens. But then we take the profits from the straddle strangle swap and roll them into a conventional earnings trade. But at the same time, we buy a straddle strangle swap for next week. This strategy has a dual mandate. It also gives you black swan hedge. What do you think would happen if the market... Why does it have to do this? What do you think would happen if the market crashed to Broadcom? You know, if we had a 1987 style crash. Well, Broadcom would probably drop 20% or something. So you'd make 18,000. Anyway, so let's do but that's the general theory of it. The general theory is we have a continuous long position, and we use the money from the long position to roll into the short position. I did this last week in CRM and Mara. CRM was the long position. It made $250. I took it off 5 minutes before earnings. Then I put on a broken wing butterfly in Mara, and it lost $260. But it was essentially a free trade at that point. I'm using the straddle strangle swaps for two things: to help pay for the broken wing butterfly, the conventional short volatility earnings trade, and to maintain a positive convex relationship to, in case a black swan happens, to maintain a positive convex relationship to the market as a whole. All right, so let's look at the other. I just did, in my update, I just did a few trades. I did Broadcom and I thought I did Gap Stores. Oh yeah, I did. There's Gap Stores right there. I did Broadcom and Gap Stores in the update. Well, let's check out on Gap Stores. Gap Stores right now, we aren't going to take these off yet. We're going to wait. But same thing with Gap Stores. If the market crashes, Gap Stores goes down, 20%, this will make some money, and it'll protect the rest of my assets. But if that doesn't happen, and we don't think it's going to, this will maybe make $50 or $100, and then I'll roll that $50 or $100 into a broken wing butterfly, maybe even a broken wing butterfly on Gap stores. I don't know. Sometimes I use the same stock and sometimes I use a different stock, but it'll be another stock that has earnings Thursday because I'll take the profit from here. So I'm trying to create a risk-free trade. At the same time, I'm trying to get free black swan hedge or free insurance. And it's not just a black swan hedge. Wonder if the market blows up this week, which it looks like it might do, and and everything goes up a bunch. That will also affect Broadcom and Gap stores. And it'll also affect Costco. I put on a few more so we would have a sample size. I put on Costco. It's the same trade though. It's a straddle strangle swap. I sold a straddle to buy a strangle twice. And the thing is, earnings usually increase, and they've increased in Costco since I put this on. Look, I couldn't lose in this trade right now. Right now, the shorts are losing money or making money for me. But the shorts are decaying at a faster rate than the longs are. See, the longs are in the following week, or they're supposed to be. I don't know, I think this is a screw up because the longs are supposed to be in the back week. Anyway, forget about Costco. Costco's not a good example. Sorry about that, guys. I should have checked that before I came on. But Gap stores and Broadcom are correct. I also did one on DocuSign. Let's make sure. Yeah, and so I sold a straddle in the near week to pay for a strangle, to help pay for a strangle, help finance the strangle in the back week. So in this one's case, out of all the ones I put on, this one's the only one that's down. It's down $16. I could take off all these trades right now at a big for a big profit. Down here, the only losing one I have is this darn Tress. I don't know what's going on with them. That's a different subject. That's also a straddle strangle swap, but they're doing something different. Anyway, I hope you guys like my idea. I'm sorry that this graphic isn't very good, but it's trying to be a continuous free insurance on the market by using earning stocks before earnings to be long vol, and then the night of earnings to actually turn around and be short vol. And to hopefully make money on both legs. But if I don't make money on both legs, hopefully make money on one leg. So essentially, I'm just trying to get free insurance and a little bit of, and hopefully a little bit of income. If the market doesn't have a black swan and earnings happen, hopefully the straddle strangle swap will make a couple $100. Then even if the broken wing butterfly loses a couple hundred, it's still a free trade, and you have a free hedge on, because as soon as you take off the straddle strangle swap for this week, before I even do the butterfly, I'm going to put on a straddle strangle swap for an earnings stock into next week, and then continue and go on and on. All right, guys, it's been longer than 5 minutes. My apologies. Ask me questions in the comments. I'll have another update tomorrow where we check in and see how the stocks are doing. I'm going to go in and I'm going to fix that Costco trade, and I'll fix that and make the strangle in the right expiration cycle. But for now, we'll just use the other 3 trades, just a paper trade, and look at and kind of see how this works. All right, guys, have a good one.